Good evening, Bayern Racing fans, and a very warm welcome to round 8 of the Caged Virtual Bayern World Series. We're here at Belle Vue Raceway for a bit of shell shifting, but we've changed this time from the Unlimiteds. We've gone into the 2 litres, so a bit of Mondeo mania tonight. Everyone in the front wheel drive scrabble our cars. We've been well used to that before in the rear wheel drive cars. But we have a few guests. We've a guest in the commentary box tonight. He's a man who's licking his wounds after the pacing they took during the teams of meeting. It's Brett Gedney.
Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's all right.
Yeah, we're managing. We're having fun. That's the main thing. And also in the commentary box, I think he's not quite ready at the moment. He's still looking at himself in the mirror. He's cleaning his teeth. We'll be back to Jordan in a second. Here he is now. It's Jordan Hollins.
Hello, Ed. Hello, Brett. And hello, everyone else. Should be a great night of action here at a track that is quite well known for causing a bit of chaos, especially in the Mondeos.
It is, but unfortunately it's a track that we've lost now in the real world, so hopefully, like at Wimbledon and one or two others, we'll give it a good, we'll put on a good show in the virtual side of things. But moving on to the racing itself, we have a champion, finally, Kieran McIver, 811, Motorhead. He's more or less has the points sewn up this evening, but it's going to be a bit of a battle for second place in the points. I think mainly between Crispy Chris Smith and Jack Bunyan. Jack, unfortunately, couldn't make it tonight, so a few other people taking his place. We've won 2 guest drivers as well, 2 real drivers like most of the guys here tonight. Cy Needle, Midlands legend, number 70. He's making a guest appearance tonight, along with a few of the other regulars, as you want to call them now. But looking at the track itself, we're on Shale. We're also on Post and Wire, so it should be interesting if you guys can catch in the post again. Be a little bit like Swaffham, really. Brett, any early predictions, or just be a case of people are going to struggle now with front wheel drive and shale?
Well, I think the last few meetings we've seen, obviously Kieran McIver, he's been up there a lot. Who else have we got? Smokey, both the Webbs, Alan Webb, and I don't know if it's going to be Harvey or his dad tonight. But his dad has proven himself. But the 2 litres, I don't know. I think it's going to be a bet on anyone, because we haven't seen him as much before on shale. I'd like to think Ben Aves. I know one of my own team, a bit of favouritism, but he's good in the front wheel drive. He knows what he's doing. I think he's going to have a lot of luck tonight.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. Obviously, a few of these guys play as much Wreckfest as the race real Bayers. Plus, Dippy, he's been on every night lately, so I think he might have the practice advantages. I mean, I know we've already gone to the Guff corner at the start there. Most people are saying, well, we're a bit before the watershed at the moment, so we won't say the word. It rhymes with hit. It would be the easiest way to describe about the cars anyway. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, we have a fairly good lineup tonight. Good drivers. I mean, everyone's up for the crash as normal, but there probably will be 1 or 2 standout performances. Like who's going to get caught up on the tractor tires and who's going to get caught on the post and wire. Jordan, you have any early views on this one? Oh, he's still muted, actually. Oh, here he comes.
Yeah, here I am. Well, I think as Brett said, you're gonna need a lot of luck to win here tonight. Belle Vue's quite a small track, quite technical, and if it's anything like the Mildenhall round we saw earlier in the season or in the series, it's going to be a very lively night. And I think because everyone's in Mondeos tonight as well, it's going to level the playing field even more. So who knows? We could see a surprise winner out there. As you alluded to, Ed, we've got a lot of very, very good drivers with us racing again tonight. So, yeah, it should be a good night of action.
We always do. I mean, that's the beauty of this Cage World Series. There's actually more real drivers than any other series. This is something we pride ourselves on. But this will be the penultimate round of the series. We will have one more to go after this, as thankfully racing is returning to the real world. But I understand down the pits now we're getting ready. Our main man himself, Marshall Keno's ferociously pushing the pick out open to let everybody out, but it'll start to become very shortly. Yeah, it's been an interesting series. Been a few very memorable moments, some very spectacular moments as well. I mean, this is the closest you'll get to banger racing as a computer game. Obviously, we're playing Wreckfest tonight on the PC version, and then it has the bangers conversion from as you can get on Steam. But you obviously need a fairly good spec gaming PC to run this. So just getting the last few guys coming into the pick 8 now. Looks like you're getting ready to go, guys. Any early bets, or just a case of see what happens as always?
Very much see what happens, I think. First corner of every race is going to be every man for himself. Really big push, and well, hopefully we'll see if you end up in the post and make a few jacking trains.
That's what we're looking for. Jordan, before you get all wound up, really.
I couldn't agree more with Brett. I think that's what we're going to be looking for tonight. Lots of cars getting caught on posts, lots of jacking trains, and who knows, maybe even a few caged Mondeos at the end of the night.
We'll see if that's possible. I'm not sure how the game Mondeo was handled compared to the real ones, but judging by the real ones, they're a bit like eggs, really. Once they crack, that's it. So once a Mondeo gets a good stuffing at the back, they don't seem to handle as well. They tend to crab around a lot, which is normal for a front-wheel drive car, but they are fairly strong and they will take a good bit of punishment compared to some of the other stuff. But yeah, it looks like the scrutineering's finally done. Marcel Keno's just about ready. And of course, if you have any messages to send in to us, please do. We'll read the best ones out on our cage stream again. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. But looks like we're getting ready now. Marcel Keno's lining them all up. Jordan, you ready to do this all by yourself?
Yeah, right. So here we go then. The first one of the night. 4 heat races. And we will be doing the final based on points scored in these 4 heat races. So it's going to be more about consistency in these heat races, isn't it, Brett?
Yes, that's it. If you want to get in that grid on the final, you want to start at the front, you better be at the top of these, at the top in these heats.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And we're actually just giving our camera car a chance to get on the middle before we get spun out. So yeah, I think we are just about ready to go in this one.
So I've got on the inside on the front is someone who had very much a lot of luck at Ipswich at the BWS series. That's Ben Nichols. Next to him is number 99, which is Dave Spooner. So here we go, and it's green on the raceway. We go for heat 1 of the 2 litre bangers at Belle Vue.
And straight away we can see that man on the front 3 to 8, Ben Nichols, pulling onto the centre. So I don't know if he's got some sort of trouble or drama. The game's not quite set up, but it is the West Country man, 99. Bam, Dave Spooner leading the way at this one, and he's already got a few car lengths lead there, Brett, ain't he?
Yeah, second is Dippy, Mr. Northern Bangers, Danny Potts in 400. Now being caught up, but with his teammate behind his Titty Dave, as he takes an outside line, as this Craig Royal comes up the inside.
Yeah, certainly. Craig did do the team meeting with us a few weeks ago, but in the Cage Pod Series, this is his debut, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on tonight. Having a good start, up in 3rd position already.
Spike 470 come up in 4th, and our points champion Motorhead with Kieran McIver come up in 6th. Real Life Crasher Shady Goff goes out at 8.
Yeah, it looks like it as John Bricknell goes in on Bamler as well. Titty Dave and a few others just pushing away for. I think it was that man you just mentioned there, Brett. As
Simon Needles, the massive following on Crispy, as Stewie 622 goes in as well, and Jackin Jr. Matt Josie goes in a big jack up.
Yeah, and Crispy will be looking to cement that 2nd position in the points chart tonight. He's just out of touch in reach of Kieran McIver. There's more cars going down there.
John Bricknell, the massive following on Kieran McIver, hitting the post on the turns 1 and 2. So,
and Brett, I would say just quickly, how well do these Mondeos hold up on the game?
Very much like real life, I'd say. They've got a lot of giving power. The front ends are solid, but a few shots in the back, and well, they'll end up crabbing with the back wheels underneath the cage, which is how we like them.
Yeah, that is how we like it. And just as you were explaining to everyone there, but I think it was Stewie Davis putting a massive hit on Owen Hunt just in front of us here on the start-finish rate, and see these two are battling it out here. But it is Craig Royal leading the way in this one.
Oh, Spike takes up on the lead. So let's see how he handles this one. That's
obviously Spike was our cameraman at the start of the series.
Cool, another few cars going. There's Ben Aves follows in Jackin Jr. It's obviously a bit of a rivalry going on.
Yeah, I was going to say them two were causing a bit of havoc to each other at the last meeting, our figure of 8 at Hednesford. So it looks like we'll have to keep a keen eye on them two tonight, as Dippy looks like he's just kissed the post there coming out of turn number 4. But Weasel Jr.'s got a good lead going now.
Seems he's got the grips of the track. Very good. Our Spike number 470 machine has gone in on another following.
Yeah, certainly. And we've already seen a few cars getting caught up on that notorious post and rope tonight as Jack and Junior just clips the infield tyre marker there. Something that Ed alluded to in the introduction. And all this is just allowing Weasel to open up the gap more and more. And coming into the final few stages, this one, it looks like he's going to take a fairly comfortable win.
Yeah, then we've got Gaza is in second place, followed by Spike. Gary Webb is one that we've seen in the past. He's very quick with a few all-comers and heat wins under his belt. But it's a lot of ground to make up as we come round. Weasel has one corner to go and he's got one lap left.
Yeah, it's coming to start the final lap now. It's going to be a dream debut for the man from up north.
Oh,
Very, very quick driver as Weasel was, well, I think that was Titty Dave, wasn't it? But who just got caught up there on turns 1 and 2. But
yeah, I think that was Gandalf went in for a bit of a lunge there. He does a following on Jeffro Jr. And there we go, heat 1 taken by Weasel Jr. Followed by Gaza, and then third place, it's Kieran McIver.
Yeah, Kieran's obviously going to be up there thereabouts, as you said, but in the last few rounds, he maybe hasn't won as many races as he'd have hoped for, but he's always been up there in the top 4 or 5 in every single race. So, yeah, more great driving from Motorhead as he clips the post there, and a few more cars also get caught up. But it was a good start to proceedings tonight. Obviously, starting off a little bit slow, but I'm sure the action will pick up as we go on. As Jack and Junior looks like he's been in the wars there. That's Matt Josie. I think he was just trying to. Oh, he's put himself in. What a wombat. But for now, I am going to hand it back over to Ed and Brett, who will analyse what we've just seen in that opening heat race.
Yeah, thanks, Jordan. That was exciting enough, as it always is. Interesting start, though. You just got to see Bam in the lead, which is, he seems to have a habit of getting into the lead early and then throwing it away. But he wouldn't have it any other way, Brett, would he?
No, that's right. Very early start in that first corner. Like I said, it was a very good push going into the post, but as soon as Weasel got away, I think it was his race. The last 5 laps, it just seemed to go so right with him. Everything moved out of the way, and like I say, it was all luck.
Yeah, it was very good for Craig Royal because he just kept going. I mean, that's obviously the thing. Don't give up initially. Just keep her list, as we say over here. But Kieran McIver was in the thick of it again. Crispy Chris Smith as well, like you said, cement the second place in the points. But Matt Josie being the target of many cars, I think he was the only guy who really got jacked up at the back. So it said there's some ferocious work going on his virtual pits at the moment to pull it back out again. But yeah, I think the highlight of that one for me was seeing Ben Aves burying Matt Josie. Obviously, the 50p we gave Ben Aves this time paid off quite well, I think.
Yes.
But, that's the thing. We usually pay people to do Matt Josie, but let's see, the Gulf corner not really starting off just yet. I think Dippy's sticking it in as always, but Dippy's usually one for the well, not necessarily the race driver excuses, but he'll only say what he did, and he won't make excuses. Unlike Matt Josie, who's a great guy for the old racing driver excuses. But most people seem happy enough in the Gulf corner. Actually, in the Gulf corner this time, Tilly Dave seems happy enough with that. Guys getting a bit of a ticking off for language because we are live. We're pre-watershed, guys. Another 15 minutes, you can go mad. But Matt Josie says, having fun. I think we are having fun. Do you have fun during that, Brett?
I did have fun. It's although it's fun watching. I'd much prefer to be racing myself. But do you know what? Someone had to step up and take the space as commentator.
That's it. Well, I think I was elbowed out of the way, so be very thankful of that. I'm just doing the Steve Ryder role this evening, so be thankful, as they say. But as long as you have fun, that's the main thing. That's all that matters. Have fun.
All that matters, just have fun.
Yeah, nothing else. Just have fun, okay? Nothing else matters. Have fun. That's the end of the subliminal messaging for this evening. We'll come back a bit later. But yeah, we're second round coming up. So I think it's going to be less Roddy and more Recce, or are we just same again?
I think it'll be pretty much the same again, although you can never really tell. The strange thing about being on a game, there's no... you don't really see someone in real life going to lunge for someone, because in case they miss, they've got a $2-3 car that they're going to smash up. With Wreckfest, you get spun out early, you're just going to go flat out and hit the first thing you see. But hopefully, first corner, some few of the rodders might, get turned and want to stick the bumper in.
Well, that's it. I mean, I have seen people lunging full-size bangers, and they've missed. And other times they've hit the target quite well. So it's a look at the draw, really, like real bangers. But I was thinking about Mondeo. It's actually quite fast, and like they handle pretty well too. Like even if someone's trying to spin you out, all you generally need to do is put your foot down a bit harder, and the front wheel drive will scrabble its way out of the spin. But looks like we're getting ready to go again for heat number 2. Cars just lining up there now. Any early predictions for this one?
I think it'll be roughly the same. I think Weasel will be up there, Dippy will be up there as well. Carl Bangs. I just looked through the list. There's a few no-shows on here.
I think there is, unfortunately, but who has turned up is greatly appreciated, and we know that these guys will put on a good show. But we're getting ready to go. Jordan, you ready?
Yes, I am, Ed. Here we go. Heat number 2. It'll be interesting to see what happens in this one after a fairly quiet start to proceedings, and it's like, man, again, Weasel lines up on the outside of the front row. He's going to be a hard man to beat in this one, ain't he, Brett?
He is, yes, if he gets that start, but is that spike next to him on the inside line? That's much where I prefer to be, especially around this track.
Well, that's one thing I was going to say. How is the inside line around Belle Vue, especially with Mondeo's? Does it make that much of a difference as we go green?
Very much so. I've raced this track on here in 2 litres. If you get that little nudge into the bend, you get picked up, that's it. If you're going in, that inside line is key to get around her.
And it looks like what you've said is bang on. It's Gary Baker takes the lead from pole position. Ben Nichols goes an opposite.
He stops
and he
taking
takes
the
out
force
Spike there.
478. That's Craig Royal takes the lead again. Let's see if he has the luck and has a clear way to finish. Barton Boy
behind just got caught up there.
So that's Dippy, goes on the inside of Titty Dave. Is now he's picked Spike up, and it looks like he's put him on the post on the back end. So 99 Shady Goff takes it. He goes in there with Stewie on the back as well. First place man Weasel goes up to the inside past the pilot.
Northern Banger's very own Drew Wilson was also involved. Only looks like he's going to come under pressure from Stephen Challenger there, and he puts him into the post and wire.
That's a few more, 3 or 4 cars went after as well, collecting Drew Wilson.
Yeah, it was another big push going in there, and it looks like Ben Nichols was also like an opposite on turn number 4 there. So, Ben in this series is, I think, spent more time on Oppo than he has in the right direction. He's been absolutely great value. It looks like that's continuing tonight as Weasel just has a little play there with Stewie, the back marking Stewie. But it's great to see him back out tonight. Been another very good entertainer in the series so far.
So Drew Wilson colliding with the post, reverses out and hits Stuart Davis. Not causing too much damage though, as he gets picked up again by the Barton Boy and he goes in. There's another one, the same person. Obviously something going on there.
Yeah, that is going to be another very interesting little rivalry. We'll have to keep an eye on tonight as John Bricknell just gets caught on the post after receiving a head-on from the Barton Boy there. I think that's actually Stephen Challenger's brother who's just joined us. Unfortunately, he missed heat number 1. And as you said, Brett, he's already getting caught up in the action with a couple of nice following ins already.
And who's that? As Weasel's been stopped. Well, he hasn't been stopped from the lead, but he's been stopped for a few seconds.
I believe that was Titty Dave, David Hansler, who went for a great little lunge there on Shady Goff, just pitching him into the post and wire there on turn number 3. So Weasel Jr.'s got a very comfortable advantage in this one.
Second place has slowly been creeping up. That's Owen Hunt under the name of Jeffro. Someone's not really been up there in the last few meetings, but he can drive. He's showing it now. He's got a very good pace on him. He's showing that the people behind him the way around this track.
Yeah, he certainly is. His Motorhead just getting caught up there. 14 buckle. Hopefully he can get back into it. He's quite a way down the order, I think. Well, he's in 7th position, which is quite low for.
Oh,
Wilson goes in there.
Needle. Oh, that's Titty Dave on the back of Wilson again.
Still kicking off in this one.
Oh, Shady's
There's more action there.
He stops the Force and 8 machine of Weasel.
Weasel just getting caught up in some back markers there, and he's only got a lap to do at the end of this one, so he's got to try and keep cool, calm and collected.
Now coming out on the last lap is it's 478, 528, 622 of Gaza, and then Dippy 404th. Jack and Junior, Matt Josie in 5th. This could be a very good finish for him if he keeps it going.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a great result for Jack and Junior. Obviously, not to shine a light away from Weasel Junior, who takes another very, very good win and a great drive there as more action kicks off low on turns 1 and 2, and Jack and Junior gets spun there.
Just as the checkered flag goes down, Needle does a massive following on Danny Potts and then goes in again on Bam.
Oh, it must be said actually that Simon Eder is another debutant tonight. This is the final round in the series, but it's great to see that we still have people that want to race with us, and as Ed said, we can only thank them so much for all their time and effort. And well, that one was a lot more lively, Brett.
Yeah, it was good. That was very good. Once again, it's the more of the crashers showing their way. Shady Goff, Simon Needle, Ben Nichols, obviously having a bit of fun turning around on the bends. But Craig Royal, he's obviously shown that he's had this game for a while now. He knows how to drive these Mondeos. That was a very good and clean race from him.
Yeah, it certainly was. And let's go and see what Mr. Ed Fahey has to say on that one.
Yeah, it was very good. Craig Royal again, seriously impressive. I'm kind of glad we managed to squeeze him in at the last time. Extremely good driving there, very clean driving as well. But like the proper banger driver, he knows when to race, he knows when to crash. Is the main thing. Ben Nichols there going the wrong way initially, but he's been one of the biggest entertainers in the entire league. But it was good to watch. And Cy Needle as well. That's another one of our real drivers putting on a fantastic show as well, showing he's as good behind the virtual banger as he is with a real banger. But I think Craig Royal's a man on a mission anyway. Now, no maiden I've said that. It means he's going to have a very poor Heat 3 and Heat 4. Anyone stand out there, Jordan? You're fairly getting into it there, I noticed.
Certainly. It was, as me and Brett said on commentary, it certainly picked up in terms of action in that one. I must say that the Barton boy there, Stephen Challender's brother, was very good value, as was number 70, Simon Needle as well. We put in a very few good following ins, and the action was very good in that one, and it was another great drive by Craig Royal, Weasel Jr., who took 2 wins from 2, so it could be a good night for him if he can keep this up, and who knows, had he done the whole series, he could have given Kieran McIver a good run for his money in terms of the points championship.
Could do. Let's see what happens. But I think there's 1 or 2 warnings being handed in from race control here. Unfortunately, Tiddy Dave and Stu Davies has got a slap on the wrist. Just be careful, guys. Race control is watching. I know James doesn't like to hand out the penalties, but he will if necessary. But we'll see what happens then. Brett, it was ruddy at one stage, but it kind of got going again. There was 1 or 2 fairly good jacking trains at each end of the track there. You're going to see more of the same, then are people going to try and stop Craig Royal in the next one?
I think that's how it'll go. People obviously in our fast years and think, you know what, no one's gonna want him to let him clear up. So I should imagine Ben Nichols, Simon Needle. I think they'll have a play.
We'll see. Well, I mean, both of them have got nothing to lose anyway, too. So we shall see what happens. Let's see now. Matt Josie's kicking off in the Gulf corner as well. See, he didn't do too well either, and he posted himself at the end. Never mind having somebody else shove him into the post. Went up the post himself. He's giving Stu Davies a bit of guff there now in the Gulf corner, so Stu's going to want retribution. Full enough, Stu Davies is actually one of the better people. If we the few times Matt Josie gets into the lead, I would say Matt Josie's in the lead. Somebody sort him out, please. And it's usually Stu Davies that gets him. But the cars are coming out again now for Heat 3. I think we're going to see more of the same, to be honest. No point really making any major predictions on this one. I'd say Royal's going to come from behind. Now, in the banger sense of terms, not for anything else. Got a few people sniggering about that before. But yeah, I mean, he'll be the man on the mission again. He'll race when it's time, and he'll wreck when it's time. And usually when he does pull off a crash, it usually is a fairly big one. So he's certainly a man to watch. Again, we thank all the drivers for coming on this evening. I'm sure a few guys now have cars ready in yards, in sheds, in garages, getting ready to go in the full-size world, or the real world, as you prefer to call it. But yeah, we'll see what happens for this one. But the cars are getting ready now. Any last second predictions, Brett?
Like you say, I think it'll be pretty much the same. It'll have its Roddy stages, and it'll have its moments. Obviously, when you get toward the ends, people will start thinking, right, I've got to get up there, and I'll start using the bumper to get through the pack. So, yeah.
Oh, it's our marshal is smoking furiously through the race. That's the main thing. You're right there, James. Oh, that's right, yeah, apologies. Only we can hear him. The little voice in our head says James Keane is talking to us. But yeah, looks like we're just about getting ready to go for this one. Jordan is just about finished refreshing himself with furious amounts of water and Red Bull, or whatever he drinks. You allowed to drink this night, Jordan?
Yeah, just sipping on water tonight, Ed. Keeping hydrated.
Anyway, Heat 3, here we go.
Yep. Thank you very much, Black Bits of Analysis Lab, by Ed and Brett. It is certainly quite interesting to keep note of what the guys are saying. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if anyone turns it round and tries to stop Craig Royal in this one. He's looked very quick in the first two races, ain't he, Brett?
Yeah, he's been very fast. He knows his way around. But as we come into Heat 3, we've got very different grids. As outside front, we have Gary Webb, and on the inside, which is Crispy, which will be our second in the national points. Behind him, Ben Aves, totally trash man, part of my team, but I'm sure he'll be looking to stick the bumper in. And next to him, Northern Bangers, Dippy Danny Potts. He's been down there in the heats, but he can drive. So I think if he has a change of heart, he'll pull through, and I'd like to see him get a top 5 finish.
Yeah, completely agree. And it is quite interesting to note we have totally trashed Northern Bangers and Caged all lining up within a couple of rows of each other. But it is Crispy Chris Smith who takes the lead. And here's the lunge we were waiting for.
So there we go. There's the first lap lunge as Jackin Jr. takes the lead from Ben Aves. And how we retaliate with this? He goes up on the inside. Ben Aves in the lead. Weasel Jr. second. Spike third, followed by Bricknell.
It is, and John Bricknell and Dippy led, just getting caught up. Motorhead and Crispy come through. Titty Dave as well, but it is Gandalf. Ben Aves in the lead. And you're running, mate, Brett. So how good is Ben at this game? You can be honest with him here.
I'll give him a due. If I'm up there, or if me and Drew are up there, he's a brilliant crasher. But as a mate, if he's sat in the straight and I'm down there, we always smash each other up. It's something we've got to do. But he recently, a few weeks ago, he won the the World of Shale at Kingsway in a DS420 limo, which is something you wouldn't never see on this game.
No, certainly not, and that's fair play to Ben there. That shows what a great driver he is. But it is that man again, Weasel Jr. in 478 leading the way from Motorhead, Kieran McIver there. And well, Craig's already got about a straight's lead, a whole straight. And on a track like Belle Vue, that is quite a lot. But it's not over until it's over. As he can get caught out by some of the back markers and cars and opposite as Time and Needle there, just trying to reverse, and I think he's more so trying to get back into it there. But yeah, he's going to play havoc with a few cars. Simon
Needle, as many as you know, is a real life driver. He's definitely one for entertaining, and I'm sure he's the same. Well, bam, 99 machine goes thundering in there on Simon Needle. That's a massive shot. Simon backs out in front of him. Oh, another one. Bam gets all fours off the floor on that one there. And Weasel now getting spun left by, I think it's Titty Dave, as running mate Dippy comes up on the inside to take the lead. So it's a level as 1 and 2.
And Craig is certainly no slouch, as is proven in the first 2 heat races, as Dippy Danny Potts is now in the lead in this one. So yeah, it is going to be interesting to keep note. Dippy has won a few races with us in the Cage World Series so far.
Oh, and I think that's Drew Wilson that turns around and hits Titty Dave on the nose.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's John Brickner as well, though. He got caught up massively in all that at the end of the home straight. But it is Dippy Potts looking to try and stop the path of Craig Royal in his wins here tonight.
Kieran McIver runs in at
He's still leading the way in this one. Yeah,
So,
he did there. Did do very well.
here we go, Dippy 400, Motorhead 811, a Weasel 478, and then Gaza 622 is your top four. Spike following in fifth.
It'll be interesting to see if Motorhead can close down on Dippy in the final few laps of this one. Not far between the two now, only a few car lengths, but more importantly, there is a back marker in the shape of Jeffro Jr.
So here comes Dippy, who gets caught up on a post there, but he overtakes the fifth place. He's now a lap ahead of lap. Oh, there we go, and a bit of trouble here as he gets picked up on the door. Jackin Jr. goes in, and Jeffro, and Hunt goes in on Dippy as well, which loosens the lead, but gives it to fellow leveller driver. And here we go. And Hunt. A big following there.
Yeah, it was a big following in, and that all came from Stewie Davis going on opposite there and taking out Dippy over the rear right wheel when he exited turn 4. Then, as you said, Brett, Matt Josie, Jack and Jr. came in, and there was a big push. And now in the lead of the race, it is Motorhead Kieran McIver. So after all that, normality resumes.
And takes the win. Kieran McIver comes home in first place, followed by Gary Webb, then Craig Royal, breaking the streak, but comes home in third. Fourth is Dippy, and then fifth is Spike.
Yeah. It goes to show you, though, just how quickly things can change on Rick Best. Me and Ned have said this a lot, and I'm sure he'll probably ask you about this in a second. But, you know, when you're racing, I guess you're always aware of, you know, the cars on opposite and how many laps you've got left, and also how quickly these things can change, even if you are leading comfortably.
Yeah, like you say, with something like this, it's always luck. You could be 2 laps ahead, have 5 laps to go, and do you know what I mean? You could catch posts, get followed in or stop, and that could kill your car. Some bad luck here with Dippy and Weasel, both running mates, getting caught up just on the start and finish with a lap to go, which meant, Ed will be happy about this. The Irish man, which is Kieran McIver, comes home and takes the win, but wasn't up there in the last 5-6 laps ago. He'd come through on them laps from quite far back in the grid. So yeah, all about luck. Really?
Yeah,
it is all about luck, and what does luck?
Yeah, no, it's all about luck. The luck of the Irish, necessarily, maybe. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, we've seen this before. You know, comfortable leads, 2 laps to go, 1.5 laps to go, and then bang, over, finished. Either somebody on Oppo or somebody just being caught with a back marker, clipping a tire. If you're Matt Josie, using the racing line and rolling yourself, or just not going right. But the thing is as well, like, I've played this game a few times. It's not as easy as it looks. It's not just, you know, press, turn right. You do actually have to drive the car. And as well as having to drive the car, you've 20, 22, 23 other people out there with you. So it just makes it more difficult. But yeah, it was good of Kieran McIver there, considering he wasn't even in the top 6 until the closing stages of that race. Obviously, everybody was out to get Royal, and they kind of did in a way. But I think Dippy kind of ruined his own chances in doing it, but he'll be the first one to say he's not afraid to give it a bit of a crash. So Needle there again, very impressive, good to watch. Will be a slight delay here because one of the guys having games problems will be coming back in. Ars Lucchino was saying overall good race, but 1 or 2 drivers being told off again for following in a bit too hard or turning it around a bit too early. But yeah, we'll see how we get on. But yeah, any late predictions now for the final race, Brett?
You see, now we know who our top boys are. So we've got Kieran McIver, we've got Craig, we've got Danny as well. I'd like to see little Drew. Oh, I can't really say that. He'll moan at me. But I'd like to see Drew. I'd like to see Drew come through and win it. Not that he'd gather luck. He's good when he can be, but other times he's just interested in a crash. But I think if he gets up there and gets a good start, he'll have this. I'd like to see him win it.
Fair enough. That was an interesting one to say. We'll come back to Jordan in a second. I don't know. I think Craig Rowe has been fairly impressive so far. He's probably obviously going to definitely try and push for the win in this one because he didn't have it quite his own way in the last race. But I think going by the points at the moment, he is on he's provisionally on pole position, I would think. But you think it's going to be a race to the finish, or is it going to be a fairly long and drawn out event? Any ideas?
With the final, I don't know if are they running 25 or 20 laps?
I'm not sure actually. I know the heats are 15, so yeah, 20 or 25. It'll be one or the other.
A lot. Things with the final on this game, there's a very slim chance of making it to the finish alive. 15 laps, it don't seem a lot. Obviously, with these Mondayos being quite a bit harder than the unlimited bangers. I don't know. It's one of them. If you get a lot of damage in them first 10 laps, you might as well stop. That's your race over. So hopefully, some people have got to get a bit damaged, cause a few pile-ups, might get a last car running final. It'd be good to see, but it's just you got to stay out of the way. If you stay out of the way, them first few laps, you'll be all right.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, to finish first you must finish. I mean that applies
Exactly.
to any form of motorsport, contact or non-contact. But it'll be interesting. As again, an often overused code reminder, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I'm not really going to put money in anyone for this one. I mean, I think Craig Rowe's going to try and win again. I think Kerry McIver might try and win again. Dippy might try and win again. Even Jetro might stick it in there now. Who else? I think Matt Josie's going to try and go for the glory. Although to be fair, with the caged crew, they tend to all-comers race 2 seems to be the traditional caged race win of the evening. So I'm sure Jordan will have something to say about that when he comes back. But we're just coming in now. Any last thoughts on this one, Jordan?
No, not really. I think what's this? This is the fourth and last heat race. So it's the last chance for the guys to get the points to get a good starting position for the final. And it was quite interesting what Brett was saying, that he'd rather be on the inside line if he was racing tonight. But I just wondered, I know for World Finals drivers, some say they'd rather start at the front, others say back, others say it don't really matter. So on a game like Wreckfest and at a track like Belle Vue, where would you want to be starting in the final tonight, Brett?
Myself as a driver, I'd like to be at the back. If you start at the front, you've always got that big push. You're in the middle, one mistake by one driver, that's messed pretty much the whole pack up. The thing is, you're at the back, you can take your time. You can go into that first corner as fast as you want. You can pick the first car up and you can follow the whole pack in, or you can go slow, wait for everyone to bin themselves in, and then go through the inside.
Yeah, I mean, that all makes sense. And if we have a first spin lunge like we did in the last 8 races, you say if you're in the middle or obviously you're at the front, that could be race over. And, it is going to be hard to get them laps back, because I think that is one thing we've noticed, especially if you've got the quick guys in the lead, like the likes of Kieran McIver, the likes of Craig Royal, you will probably end up getting lapped, and anywhere up to 5th or 6th is probably going to get lapped as well.
Yeah, like I say, I've in the time that I have been racing, I haven't really done a lot, but a lot of the stuff I've learned from juniors, I've been in packs and one mistake and you get spun out and that's it. So it's just that start, really. That start will tell the whole race until you get to the last 5 laps. Yeah.
No, that's very, very worldly advice, but looks like I'm getting ready to go for heat number 4. Jordan, are you ready?
Yes, Ed, I'm ready. Are you ready?
I hope you have fun, Jordan.
I'm having great fun. I'd rather be doing this than be drinking in the pub. But anyway.
Well, that's right, because that's what I'm going after.
Yeah, rub it in. Anyway, have fun, guys.
So, Here we go for heat number 4. It's Green on the raceway with Spike 470, Bricknell number 2, and Jackin Jr. is at the top part of the pack. And there's 5 cars go in there on turns 1 and 2, which is Gary Webb, who started in 3rd, is now right at the back of the pack.
And that just goes on to what you were saying. Just remember it, first bend lunge, and if you're starting at the front, that could be raced over. And it looks like where you said before, Gary Webb. But that was a great lunge there. Simon Needle was involved in it, David Hands as well. When it looks like it's going to be Gary Baker and Matt Josie at the head of the field, but they've got good company in third and fourth as the first two come to grief on turn number 2. It is Jack and Junior in the lead as Motorhead gets spun. Fast and frenetic stuff in this one, Brett, so far.
Yeah, so, as you say, Matt Josie in first, Craig Royal second, Spike Smith in third. It's quite spaced out. Some of the back markers getting caught up there as Nichols reverses up into the post, looking to turn around some upper attacking. And who's that he stopped? I think that was Craig Royal he stopped.
Yeah, it was second place man Craig Royal, and that's allowed Spike Gary Baker to close right back up. He's going to try and get up the inside as Ben just tried to push out Craig there, and Spike has got him. And he's taking the lead as Matt Josie. Solid shot there from Nichols.
Well, that was Gandalf on the back line. Now reverses down the straight and gets some solid shot from John Bricknell.
Yeah, it was indeed. And again, these post and wires and the long straights are causing absolute havoc tonight as Stewie Davis again tries to reverse up. Dippy's involved in that, and it is Gary Webb that's actually taking the lead now, Brett. So after a bit of a poor start, he's done well as Drew Wilson spins out at Jack and Jr.
So as we have, Ben Nichols stops Craig Royal, which allows the lead to get even bigger for Gary Webb, but he comes off a few back markers as the 183 machine in the front. And then Needle goes in on Jack and Jr. over the back wheel, and so does the 183 machine. So getting caught up again with first place. Bricknell now coming into turns 3 and 4 as head on with Stewie Davis. Gandalf up the inside of Needle, who spins out Bricknell onto the middle. Or gets caught up and reverses him to the post. This could start a jacking train.
I think it was actually really good driving there. John Bricknell just managing to steer out of that, and Gaza just trying to keep up the inside of John Bricknell. He was going for the almighty hit there, and he ends up putting himself up the post. He did a Matt Josie, as I'm sure Ed will probably let everyone know afterwards. More cars. I think that's 5 or 6 cars abreast on the home straight there. As well, here comes the Jack and Train Brett as Simon Needle goes in on Bricknell.
Yeah, it was a solid shot there, and 183 on Drew Wilson over the back wheel as Gaz's lead increases, followed by Crispy, sorry.
Yeah, Crispy in second position. We should call him Mr. Second Place. He's like the Jason Q of Wreckfest Online Bangers. Obviously, Jason keeps on, well, he used to keep on finishing second in the big hot rod races. There's another big head on there.
There's a big one over the front wheel from one of the trash drivers, I do believe, and it was Gandalf. As Drew Wilson seems to be helping Stewie towards the middle of the track. Jack and Jr. squeezing through there, just missing a post. And Ben Aves takes Bamin over the back wheel. Dippy comes through, so Crispy takes the lead, followed by Kieran McIver. Spike's coming up into third, and then Gary Webb all the way down in fourth, but real life crasher Shady Goff in 99 is in fifth.
Yeah, that's a good result for Shady. That's well pointed out there, Brett. And Shady's not only a great entertainer in real life, but also on Wreckfest. He's just dropped to 7th, but that would still be a very peaceful handful of points there as Motorhead Kieran McIver comes through to take his second race win of the night. That'll please Ed when we go and see him there.
So Craig Royal coming home in second, bagging some more of them points for that all important final grid. Yeah, again a great haul of points there for Craig.
And I think, if my calculations are correct, that will see him start in pole position with potentially Kieran McIver Motorhead in second position. So, yeah, some great action there, as we can see on turn number 2. It's all kicking off there with a bit of a pile-up and a bit of a wrecking train. So the action has picked up as the night's gone on, and we are starting to see a few of these rivalries tick over.
Yeah, as we're seeing now, before in the first 3 heats, there wasn't that many casualties, but some non-finishers, which is Ben Aves, Bricknell, Ben Nichols as well, that have died. Obviously, them 4 sticking the bumper in a lot more this race. It's shown. So, if you want to stick the bumper in early on, don't expect to finish the race.
Yeah, it's words indeed from Brett. Let's see, Brett's actually raced, unlike most of the people on Oval Chat.
Well, I wouldn't call it raced. I've had a go.
That's what I mean. You've been in the saddle, as have I. There's injuries to prove it too. So that's fun. But yeah, Kim McGregor held on there to take that one. It was a bit more his way in that one than the last one. 5-minute break while doing the points, says Marshall Keno. So I think, judging by our own predictions, it'll be Craig Royal on pole position with Kieran McIver on the outside. I'd say the likes of Dippy, Danny Potts, Cy Needle and Gandalf will be not too far away, so we'll get a few people together. But any early highlights for that one then, or was that just, that was kind of the ferocity of it all was really at its peak there now in Q4 as it usually is. Jordan, or is he? No, he's muted. Sorry, we'll come back. Oh, there he is. Sorry, go ahead, Jordan. That's twice now.
Sorry, can you just repeat that, Ed? Because I'm just trying to sort out some potential black crosses in that one, with a couple of drivers messaging me saying they were a bit unhappy. So what was you saying there?
No, I was just saying, has it kind of got to the level that we wanted to be now as regards people?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
No, I think it has. I think especially in that last one, it was some very, very hard hits, a few cars on opposite, lots of drivers getting caught out by the post, and some great lunges as well. Obviously, Belle Vue on the game and in real life was famed for having a really tight apex, but also quite wide corners. So it did enable you to put the bumper in, and that's exactly what the likes of Ben Aves are doing, Drew Wilson's doing, Ben Nichols, great value as well, and number 70 Simon Eder as well. So yeah, it's been a really good night so far.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's what's important. I mean, everyone's getting stuck in as well, which is good. There's not too much in the Gulf corner at the moment. Some revelations there from Matt Josie. He says, if Gandalf wins Cage World Final, I'll join Southern Bangers. Well, I mean, I thought Northern Bangers were better than Southern Bangers, but whatever you're into, Matt, So I heard there's going to be Eastern Bangers and Western Bangers as well. And then you're going to have splinter groups. There's going to be Northeastern and Southwestern Bangers. And then North by Northwestern Bangers. I mean, where's he going to stop?
Apparently, I've heard the admins of Eastern Bangers are all brother, sister, and married.
But they're over your neck of the woods, aren't they, in the mountains of East Anglia?
The mountains of East Anglia, yeah. I think that'll be my new venture. I think actually, Eastern Bangers take over from Totally Trashed. I'll give Ben Aves that now. He can call ownership.
Oh, so that's a bit for the news desk, really, isn't it? Rather than the virtual series.
Well, it can be the virtual as well. I started the team up on Wreckfest and hopefully a real life soon. But with work commitments, I haven't been racing a lot on Wreckfest, so I've sort of just given Ben the reins, and he's ever since that we took on Drew Wilson as well.
Let's see, teachers report there would say not committed enough.
Well, I do try. I've had a good month off, which was I think I needed, because I was getting quite bored of the game with some of the kids. I know it's a kids game, but when you come on to do a racing league and you get some wallies on here, I've had my time off, and now I think, do you know what, I do miss it a bit. I miss the banter.
So you're one of these rage quitters like Matt Josie. Controller at the wall. Go, yeah!
Yeah, I would say that. As much as I hate to say it, because it's just a game, but it makes your age so much sometimes. But it's just, you got to think of it. It's just fun, isn't it? It's just a game.
Just a game, he says. Just a game. Well, they say that banger racing is just a sport. I think it's a bit more.
It's never just a sport. It's always been life.
This is it. I mean, racing is life. Anything else before that is just waiting. That was quoted by Stephen Quinn in that famous film Le Mans. I'm sure Jordan has seen that. Or has he?
No, I actually haven't, Ed. No, I haven't seen that, but if you recommend it, I will definitely give it a watch, because I know me and you talk about Le Mans a lot, just to annoy our banger fans that are joining us here tonight.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, unlike the virtual Le Mans, which was held, our servers haven't overheated and more or less exploded. I mean, the IT professional day job in me doesn't like to hear things like that, because normally that means you're under a serious amount of pressure. But there's a few. Let's see. There's more. What's happening in the Gulf corner at the moment? Gaza says Drew smells. Oh, that's complete guff there now. All right. Looks like Matt Josie's revelation has caused silence, pretty much. Or is everyone furiously going to the toilet and grabbing something from the fridge and all that? But yeah, we'll see how Eastern Bangers fare, and then Western Bangers, and then my own page, North by Northwestern Bangers. I may have possibly made all of those three up, and they don't exist. Thank you. Yep, sorry, they were just reading back what's on the Gulf corner at the moment. But yeah, but we'll see what happens. So, Jordan, any predictions for the final?
I think it all depends if we get another lunge going into the first bend. It is going to be interesting to take note of who's starting at the front and who's starting at the back, because I think it was the Swaffham final. We just had lunge after lunge and hit after hit, following in after following in, and it was a great final, probably the best final in the series so far. So yeah, if we have another one like that, I think that'll be absolutely great, and we could possibly see a winner who, with the utmost respect, maybe someone wouldn't have expected, but I'm sure the action will come from the likes of Simon Edel again, Ben Nichols, Stewie Davis. Matt Josie's been involved in it tonight as well, Jack and Jr., Drew Wilson, and Gandalf Ben Aves, the man himself, the new leader of Totally Trashed by the sounds of it on Wreckfest anyway, that is. So, yeah, I'm sure it'll be another very open final, level playing field for everyone, like I said in the introduction. But me, myself, I can't see anyone beating either Kieran McIver or Craig Royal, who has shown not only his pace in real life, but in the virtual world tonight as well.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, people who seem to be good at this are good at racing full-size bangers as well. I mean, fair play to everyone again. I know I'm profusely thanking everyone for coming, but no, we really do appreciate the effort that the guys put in, because I mean, it's not just a case of 3 clicks of the mouse and then you go. For some of these guys, the paint jobs that they do on the car is nothing short of amazing. And again, I'm sure more effort goes into some of these virtual bangers than we'll do in the real bangers. We had Danny Potts on cage there a while back. He was saying he'd be staying up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning to paint the bangers. And I said, no, that's completely normal, as the man would say. But Brett, you've been keeping a close tab on this. Any predictions for the final?
I really do think this will be the race to watch. If you're out there to entertain, this is the race where you're going to want to stop someone. Not a lot of people really remember who won the heats. They know who won the final, and they know who entertained in the final. So if you want to make an impact, this is the race. People are going to want to turn it around. They're going to want to do a big following, because this is when they'll get remembered. So I think this will be the race where mayhem. I think first 2 laps, be getting their positions. After that, I think it'll be following, jacking chains, hopefully track blockage. But we will see. I really do think this will be the race of the night.
It usually is. Either that or all comers 2 seems to be the race of the night. But I'm just going back to some of our comments, which our Steph is monitoring. Looks like somebody's taking me up on my suggestion. They're going to start Western Bangers, but no, it won't involve cowboy hats and guns and horses. Maybe painted on the cars, all right, but not necessarily in the bangers themselves. But Riley Brickland says, who's going to win the virtual world final? We'll be having that in a few weeks' time at Arena Essex. So I think that's going to be the most open playing field of them all, to be honest. We just have no idea. We'll be back to the unlimited cars there again, with the exception of the Miller Meteor hearses. They're banned in the game. Now, some say it's good, some say it's bad, but we just take the conscientious decision not to race them. But that's what the main thing. But yeah, nobody's found the Eastern Bangers yet, Brett. So you're in there, as they say.
I'm in there. I've got the name.
So will that be full of like turnips and tractors and mountains and things, or will it just be like a tea tray?
So today I haven't really thought that far ahead, to be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully, unlike Southern Bangers, it'll all be my own content and it won't be just sharing other people's work, but we shall see.
Yeah, you're right, actually. That's the thing. Individual content is what's important, and not just liking and sharing things. But having fun is what's important.
It's all about having fun.
Yeah, in many aspects of life, not just banger racing. I mean, in some places, do you want to have fun means something totally different than it would in a Southern Bangers context. But we're just getting ready here now. We're up to 25 laps for the final, so 10 more laps than what you'd normally do during the race. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Looks like the Eastern versus Western Bangers thing might be a thing after all. So I actually take claim to the catchphrase Western Bangers, Eastern Bangers, North by Northwestern Bangers. So I own them and nobody else does. Jordan can have Essex Bangers, of course. Do you want to do that, Jordan?
What, Essex and London Bangers? Yeah, it sounds good. We just need a racetrack in Essex or London now, which obviously both are greatly missed.
You have Stansted, don't you?
What was that, Ed?
It says you have Stansted.
Stansted, yeah. I guess Stansted, but that's our very own Stephanie Cox's area, so I don't want to tread on any toes by claiming that as my own. But who knows? She said if I were to have a ginger wig, I could maybe join her one day, but I think that's best suited to Mr. James Keno, Marshall Keno. At least he doesn't need a wig to go to Stansted.
Oh, you be careful now. You see, the thing is, James can hear us, but James isn't being publicly broadcasted this evening. So James is basically the little voice in our heads. So he's laughing there now, but so it looks like we're getting ready for the turnips and the tractors of Eastern Bangers anyway. You all set for that now, Brett?
Yeah, might have a few leeks as well and onions.
True, but as long as you have fun.
Yeah, all about having fun.
Yeah.
I've heard Matt had fun tonight.
Oh, Matt always has fun in many ways. It looks like we're getting ready to go racing for the final. The format here, there'll be a grid. The drivers will be basically told what the grid is, so everyone will just line up on one end or just park up until they're called into their grid position. But I think it's obvious to guess who's on pole position. It'll be Craig Royal. On the outside of him will be Kieran McIver. But we're getting ready to go again. See a few more comments coming in there now to see what we have. Probably something very embarrassing for one of us at least. Hopefully not me. Oh, Riley Bricknell says, Northern Bangers, you're my favourite. Way better than Caged. I think it got mixed up there, Riley. It's actually the other way around. Oh, it looks like you've been beaten to it, unfortunately. Brett, somebody says they'll take Eastern Bangers.
Oh, who's that?
Josh Beattie.
I'll let him have it. He's, do you know what? I recognise Josh from I think at least every Kings Lynn meeting I've ever been to, I've seen him there. He's a very, very good supporter of Kings Lynn, so I think he deserves that.
Well, that just basically means North by Northwest Bangers is mine. It's all mine. And then our very own Steph says, Jordan Hollins, you'd look beautiful in a ginger wig. You going to take that well, Jordan?
I mean, yeah. I think it'll bring out my eyes rather beautifully and wonderfully. So, yeah, I'll be willing to give it a go.
That's the main thing.
So, Gary Webb's taking the bumper already before the green flag on the camera car.
He has. Are we forming a grid here, or are we just going straight in? We're forming a grid. Thank you very much, sir.
So, and obviously, before we get on with this final, it must be said a massive thank you to our sponsor once again, 194 Steve, Cecil Anscombe. Don't forget to check out both Cecil's Rent-A-Ricky and UK Action Cars. If you've ever fancied a go at Banger Race or getting out on track, contact Cecil. He'll sort out all the gear for you. He'll build the car, he'll transport it, and he'll keep it going all night or all meeting long. And as Ed said a few weeks ago on the podcast, he will literally do everything for you but hack your nerves. So yeah, go check out Cecil, who is our sponsor, and we're really glad to have him on board with us.
That's the thing, Cecil, unlike a lot of people, Cecil has all the gear and all the ideas, as opposed to something you usually see written on the back of some bangers, all the gear and no idea. But no, Steve's the man. It'll help you, like we said. The only thing he won't give you is nerves. What he'll give you, I'm sure. I'm sure Big Hoss will give you a shoulder rub if you ask him very nicely. But yeah, we have the grid here forming now. As predicted, Craig Royal is on pole position. Kieran McIver's on second. Second row of the grid, it is Jethro on the outside. And who would that be? Gary Baker actually on the inside. Pretty good going for Gary. Third row is Stu Davies. And the man himself, it's Dippy. He'll be the dark horse for this one. Next row of the grid, the fourth row on the outside, it's Stephen Challenger, 183. That's 2 and 4. Crispy Chris Smith, the man chases second place in the points on the inside. The fifth row, it's Matt Josie, whoever he is, and Shady Goff. Is that Shady Goff, guys, or am I getting mixed up there? Oh, it's Bam. I do apologise. Sorry, Bam. It's Bam rather than Shady. It's the eighth row of the grid. I think that's Matt Chandler, Stephen's brother, and then Gary Webb. Behind him, it's Cy Needle on the outside. And who do we have on the inside? We're just waiting for the official grid position to come through.
I should think that'll be Drew Wilson.
Drew Wilson, apologies.
I think we will see. I don't know. It'll either be. Might be Bricknell, because Bricknell's up there.
Yeah. And folks, just a quick bit of rearranging.
Oh.
It's Cy Needle and Titty Dave on the 8th row of the grid. But from what we've seen. Okay.
That's right. I'm going to give him a check.
It's alright, and we'll just let everybody else form up behind. From what we've seen most of the times, you can see the front 4 rows of the grid there. The winner will come from one of those rows, because it's very rare somebody who's come from the 5th or even the 6th row to win. It generally tends to be the first 4 or 5 rows. So you're looking at your winner right there in 25 laps time. Well, it's gone all quiet now. The tension is mounting, as they used to say on that brilliant TV show Banzai. But yeah, okay, Jordan, any last minute predictions?
Oh, what are we going for? Top 3? If we're going for top 3, I'll go Craig Royal, Kieran McIver, and Crispy Chris Smith in 3rd.
Okay. Anything to add to that, Brett?
I don't know. I think it's going to be a hard race. It's hard to pick out the top 3, although the top 3 on the grid that are on the final grid now have been on top form all night. So I think it's going to be one of them, but it's a hard race to call. I'd like to see someone different.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're leading off now on the warm-up lap. It's the pole man, Craig Royal, Kieran McIver on the outside. These two guys will really want to win this one, judging by the heats anyway. We'll hand it over to you, Jordan.
Thank you, Ed. And yeah, here we go. This is the one where it all counts. What are we going to call this one? The Caged King of the North title? Well, whatever we're calling it. It's green. And here we go. Craig Royal, Weasel Jr. leads him away as someone goes spinning. Now I think that's Danny Dippy Potts, as Jeffro Jr. gets spun into the post and wire there on turn number 1. So quite everybody starts there. Here's the lunge.
Gary Webb finds a post which allowed the Irishman of Kieran McIver to take the lead. That's Crispy in 2nd, and a few changes up there as 4 cars go into that turns 1 and 2, each changing position.
Yeah, it certainly is a great battle for second position there. Who we got in that? We got Stephen Challenger, I think, in 2nd position, Bam in 3rd, Spike in 4th, and Crispy in 5th at the moment, with Jeffro Jr. in 6th. But it is Kieran McIver leading the way in this one as Gandalf and Titty Dave all collide there.
That was a very solid hit there from the silver and red car of Gandalf, who's turned it around early on. He's now been out in front of Weasel, which puts him onto the middle.
Dave Spooner was also involved there, and now we're looking at Matt Challenger there on opposite on turn number 3. Who's he looking for? Hopefully not his brother. Kieran McIver coming through turns 3 and 4, and he looks like he's lapping Craig Royal. No, he doesn't, as Matt Challenger goes in on him there on the nose. it is Spike, Gary Baker, who is leading the way in this one now, Brett.
So yes, Spike takes up the lead from overhead, and Gary Webb, another racer, he's come up and is coming in the positions early on. I think that was Drew Wilson who does a following now on Matt Josie. And Matt Josie gets some Stewie Davis, which also a few other cars follow into as well. Dippy finding a post all by himself and then getting a hard one from Bricknell, who then finds a tyre. So a few people seem to be finding objects all by themselves. No one behind them. What's going on here?
Yeah, certainly. John Bricknell doing his best impression of Aidan Store from the Kings Lynn Pre-75 meeting last Saturday. But he continues absolutely fine as Titty Dave there just gets a T-bone from Kieran McIver. Crispy is in lead now. It's a good battle right in front there between Crispy, Spike, Bam, and Stephen Challenger there. See what happens as we get into the second half of this race.
So here we go, as 10 laps has gone. I think this will be where we'll start seeing the crashes come through. Simon Needle hit it straight in reverse to, I think, hits Jeffro. Bartley Boy, Matt 188 has turned it round and gone for the attack, but not finding anyone through that corner.
No, absolutely not. They've all done well to avoid the car on opposite there. And it is now Stephen Challenger in the lead of the race. See, battle for the lead now. Spike, I thought was going to try and nudge him out wide. Crispy low in third and Bam in fourth. Go on, Bam. It'll be great to see him win. It's been absolutely superb since he's come into the Cage World Series.
And that was Needle there on the attack on opposite on turns one. I can't see who he hit, but he went for someone's back wheel. I'm sure we'll hit it again as he's there on the post on the end of the turn, and Bricknell meets him on the nose with a head on, and Bartley Boy comes through, pushing through the pack. Crispy is now on his back bumper.
Yeah, the Barton Boy did well there, our race leader in 183, but it has allowed Crispy to close right in on him. Crispy just biding his time there, and there was Simon Needle again going on opposite and trying to take out our race leader, but it's to no avail as Ben Nichols goes in with a lunge. And does this allow Crispy to take the lead? Yes, it does.
So number 70 is Simon Needles waiting on the corner, pulls out in front of Crispy and the leader, which has taken him to the middle, which has meant Bam at 99 takes the lead. He comes under some pressure. There's a big follow as Crispy hits the fence.
I think that was Matt Challenger there, just helping out his brother by following in Crispy. Both continue. Matt's been certainly a key ingredient to the liveliness of this one. Whether it's turning it around or following in people in, but it's Bam Dave Spooner.
Simon Needle takes out the Spooner.
And now he's getting knocked from pillar to post on the home straight. He was unlucky there, but I thought he was just going to scrape through on the inside. That
was a very good shot from Needle, doing just what he needed, catching that back wheel, which allowed Gary Webb to come through and take the lead from 183. So,
I mean, he's got a nice, healthy bit of track around him now, ain't he? And I'm sure he'll use this to his advantage. And yeah, you can see Larry just sort of bided his time, but he just got clipped there on the rear right corner.
A few cars go in as well as Drew Wilson gets set up, but he's still got the lead with 183 closely behind 214. There's a few people going after him. 183 takes the lead, 214 in second, Gazza in third, and it's that Dippy in fourth. So we've got the top five all in the same lap on the same corner. So we're going to see Gary Webb with a heavy push as he picks up 214.
Great little nudge wide there, and it is Gary Webb and Crispy side by side going down into turn number 3. Ben Nichols and leader one opposite, but it is super dodge. Gary Webb just gets through the middle of them both, and he's now the clear race leader. Stephen Challenger and Spike, Gary Baker there, second and third. Now going to lead them more closely.
Here we go with 2 laps left to run in this 2 litre banger final. Shady at 99, a back marker very close. So Titty Dave in front, another back marker. Gary Webb has been one to use his front bumper. He's got all the way through. Simon Needle stops him on the nose, which allows for 183. Nichols comes through and spins him round. Dippy, 400. Danny Potts takes the lead with Sauce already Spike in second. Crispy 214 it goes right around the outside. Team Days pushes him round, which allows him to come back in third. For Gary Webb, Bricknell turning left on Dippy. Gets stopped by Stewie. Spike comes through and takes lead. Gazza in second again. A brilliant race. As Spike now goes through and takes the last lap board.
Three battles for the lead. Cars and opposite. That was a great shot by Stewie there, but more so a great head on as well.
So it's Gary Webb takes the lead and he takes the win. He wins the final with a very good last 2 laps.
Absolutely awesome stuff there from these guys in the final. Well, I'm sure you and Ed will have a great job at dissecting what we've just seen there. We might need half an hour gap before the first all-comers. What a great final lap was there.
Ooh, and after the checkered flag, Beg Nichols goes in on the back wheel of Simon Needle. And another following as Crispy gets run in by Kieran McCarver, and a massive shot there that's just gone in on turns 2. But yeah, what a brilliant race. Gary Webb showing what he can do. He can really drive. Matt Chandler goes in on the back wheel of his dead car. Nichols in again.
Crispy was again so unlucky in that one. So too was Dippy leading right at the last stages. Ed, what did you make of that one?
That was brilliant. That was certainly one of the better finals we've had. Fair play to Gary Webb, held on because he was there and he wasn't there and he was there and he wasn't there. So it was a bit like the final he won in the All Granada meeting at Ringwood. He just kept going, didn't give up. And a particular shout out as well, the second place man, Crispy Chris Smith. He was actually in the lead for a good bit. I think when it came to laps, he actually led the most laps, even though he wasn't in the lead at the end. But again, he never gave up. I know Cy Needle was very smart on Oppo for a change, just caught Gary Webb nicely trying to flick him out of it. And Dippy took up the running very briefly, but then he got caught up in a pile-up. So, the unpredictability of that final was just nothing short of amazing because you just didn't know what was going to happen. That's really what you want in banger racing. Unpredictability is really part of the excitement. But commiserations to Dave Bam Spooner. We got very excited there initially. We thought he was about to actually see a race win. I think he's only won one race in the entire series of all the heats that he's done. But yeah, no, fair play to everyone again. Put themselves in. The gloves are off now for the all-comers races. Points don't matter. Qualifying doesn't matter. Just have a race, have a crash. It's usually when the big hits really start going in, because we've got the final out of the way. But yeah, I quite enjoyed that final. It'd be up there with some of our best finals. Not the best final. I think Swaff and Merchager is going to go down as the best final ever in the Cage series. But no, I was quite happy with that. And again, well done to Gary Webb. You stayed remarkably calm during that race, Brady. Okay.
You what? Sorry, what was that, mate? I
said you stayed quite calm during that. You didn't get too excited, so that's probably a good thing.
No, it had its moments, but you've got to try and keep it calm. And yes, only a game. It's all about having fun.
You're saying that again. It's if that saying is a rash all over the banger racing internet at the moment. I don't think it is. Do you think so, Jordan?
No, I don't think so. I think everyone's been quite well behaved tonight, and yes, we've all had a really good night in it. So yeah, all comers 1 and all comers 2, as you said earlier, were quite notorious for being even more lively. And if they're half as good as that final, then we're going to have a really good climax to the night.
Yeah, I think so too. We'll see how Matt Josie does.
So just like to take this moment to say well done to Kieran McIver in car number 811, who has took the Caged World Series points, definitely by a country mile. Who's that? Would you like to follow up the second and third?
Yep, I think Chris Smith has got second place. I think he sealed it there now. But we got on to all comers. We'll come back to the minute, but all comers won. Jordan, you ready?
Yes, thank you very much, Ed. Again, we've all just confirmed the top 3 in the points. At the end of all comers 2, or maybe at the end of the DD, is there are points on that? I can't quite remember if there's anything more to be settled. But just quickly, this is the final round tonight, as we have mentioned, meaning that we will be doing a world final or a series conclusion. And then who knows, after that we may do a couple of one-offs. But it's been a great series to commentate on. And Brett, what's it been like to commentate on tonight rather than race?
It's been a bit of a weird one, but it's nice to actually sit and watch what's going on. Obviously, it's nice to see a bit what goes on behind the scenes. Normally, I'm just worried about readying up in time and then just smashing up Matt Josie. But yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's been really nice. It's hopefully it'll happen again sometime in the future.
Well, we thank you so much for your time, not just for tonight, but through the series so far as we go for this one. And it is Stewie Davis taking the lead. Now, can Stewie win what I think would be his first race in the Cage Virtual Series? He's been here since the start. There's an almighty push going in there into turns 3 and 4. Who's involved in that bit? We've got Jeffro Jr., Matt Challenger
afterwards on the back, John Bricknell, Bam, Dippy as well coming through the back. A lot of people.
Yeah, I think Crispy's just trying to get back in there.
Even in the all-comers, Craig Royals coming up in second. Following Stewie, 6-2-2, as you say, this could be his first race win on the Caged World Series. But be it all-comers, there's only 10 points for the winner at stake. Are people going to want to crash?
Yeah, well, I think this is it. I think, the points is over and done with, really. So it is literally a fight for pride now. Maybe some scores to settle after that dramatic and very lively final was, I think, fight on cue. Matt Challenger goes in, and so too does Dippy there on turn number 3. But it is Motorhead Kuma Kaiba leading the way now from Weasel Jr. Craig Royal in second. Drew Wilson third, but as well. That's very unusual to see him that high up.
I don't think it'll last long, as he's now coming through at the back of Stewie. He's got a bit on the bumper there from Crispy. I'd like to think no injury. There'll be a jacking train. He'll be in the back of it, third or not.
Let's hope so. Obviously, Drew, a great entertainer on the best part of the totally trashed crew. It is Motorhead Kuma Kaiba still in the lead, but he's got Weasel Jr. right on the back of him as he just clips the infield time marker there. That's cost him some valuable time. Now he's got a back mark in front of him. It is our final winner, 6-2-2 Gary Webb, as Kuma Kaiba's got to dispose of the back mark in Bricknell now. But he can bide his time with this one as he's got about half a straight's advantage.
And Simon Needle goes in there with a heavy shot on what I think was Dippy over the back wheel on the post. He goes in for a lunge on Kieran McIver, the race leader, but then Simon Needle gets spun out. But he's still going strong. It's Motorhead 8-1-1, Kieran McIver, followed by Weasel Jr., Titty Dave in third, and then Jackin Jr. takes up fourth from Drew Wilson, who's now gone back to sixth. Can he make it up? Hopefully the sight of Matt Josie's boot might urge him to get some speed up.
Yeah, we can only hope, as Dippy doing a very good job, and he takes out Kuma Kaiba. He went for a lunge going into turn 3, but it was to no avail as he was too far back. But he gets it done into turn 1 in 478 Weasel Jr. through. Titty David Hands in second position, dropping Motorhead to third as we're into the final 5 laps of this all-comers 1, as Stewie Davis now goes in on Dippy as well. And more carnage ensues over on turn number 4.
Yes, a few more cars going there, which allows Drew Wilson to take up fourth from Jackin Jr. Motorhead in third, and Ben Nichols coming down the home straight on Uppo, looking for a bit of action, and he sees John Bricknell on the nose.
It was a great head on there, proper old school head on, as Gandalf getting caught up there on the post and wire as Matt Challenger buries himself, but his brother on the other bend nails Stewie Davis, who in turn gets hit by David Hands. The crispy
another one. Oh, Matt Josie gets planted into the post there by John Bricknell, who then goes in for Ben Nichols through the doors. Ben Nichols retaliates, trying to go for him, but hits Titty Dave. So Titty Dave then hitting a post. So here we go, still in the lead. I do believe will be now coming round for his last lap next time, which is Craig Royal. No, it's Kieran McIver. Kieran McIver's took the lead, so now coming round on his last lap. Can he keep it? just for 2 more bends.
But it is just for 1 more lap now, and that's a great spot. Brett as well. He clips the tarmac all by himself, and now he gets Jack's led by Weasel Jr., which is going to be a very interesting battle for the lead. Now has got the back marking Titty Dave there. Jeffro Jr. is also involved. Who's leading this one? It's Jeffro Jr., who is, I think, just going to claim victory in the first all-comers race. What another brilliant end to proceedings there, Brett.
That was a very close one. Just another one that shows no matter where you are on that last lap, it can all change in the matter of a corner. So as Jeffro shows it, coming through with a all-comers win, followed by Weasel Jr., Craig Royal, Motorhead 811, and then Spike 470. Coming in 5th, which is Jack and Jr. Nice to see him up there, not getting smashed up by all the others. And then, which is Crispy, 7th Gaza, number 8th, place 8th, which is 183, 9th Matt 188, and then Dippy 400 coming home in 10th. And that will include your top 10 for all comers number 1.
Thank you indeed, Brett. Yeah, interesting all-comers race there, and right as always, the gloves are off for the all-comers. Doesn't matter about points, doesn't matter about qualifying now, just go for it. So I think that's full enough. Jethro actually wins more races in the full-size Banger World than he does in the virtual world, or is it Junior at the wheel? But either way, both good guys, both good drivers too. Again, supporters of the series and never really afraid to get stuck in. But yeah, I think most of the guys are like, right, we don't want to see Weasel win this, we don't want to see Kieran McGurver win this, but they still did manage to get through, and it was more or less right at the very last second that Jethro took the win there. He was obviously just Jethro biding his time, just going round. He could see that the result was coming, so just pushed through for the rest. The main thing. There's a couple of nice jack and trains there, Jordan. You're going to see more of them now in the next race.
Yeah, hopefully. I think the action certainly kicked up in that all-comers one, and well, you were saying it before that one as well, that these 2 all-comers races normally provide the most brutal action of the night, and certainly that head-on between 3 to 8 Bennicles and number 2 John Bicknell on turns 3 and 4 was absolutely awesome, and it was a great drive by young Jeffro Jr. Owen Hunt to claim the victory. I know that Brett said earlier he's a very good driver on the game and very quick as well, but he necessarily doesn't have the luck at all times, but he certainly did in that one.
Yeah, I don't think so. He did very well there. Most of the drivers seem happy enough with it too. It's nice to see a good win, rather than the guff back into the guff corner for all the excuses. But even Matt Josie's not making any excuses for this one. But the next race is Matt Josie's big chance. It's all comers too, the traditional caged race win. So I'm not sure if we've any bets on this one, whether he's going to do well or not. We'll just have to wait and see. But do you reckon either Kieran McIver or Craig Royal are going to try and win again, Brett, or they just take it as it comes?
I think if they'll get away, they'd like to keep up the winning streak. They're both cleared up tonight with the points, so I think they'll be in 2 minds. If they're up there, they'll do it. If they're not, they'll crash. But 2 very quality drivers. They've shown what they can do. They know what they're doing, so I don't doubt it. They'll be up there very much.
Yeah, well, that's what's there. Everyone's up for the crash. You might get a proper jack and train in this heat. Who knows? Just don't know. But yeah, no, I think it's been good to see them so far. We've been entertaining. Couple of crashes, a bit of good racing as well. I mean, as much as we all love to crash, we all love to see a bit of racing as well. Obviously, the full contact element. So, loads of pushing and shoving. Nearly as much contact as the second heat of the British Touring Cars last weekend, Jordan.
Yeah, nearly. British Touring Cars got very stuck in at Brands Hatch. If they weren't overheating, you were going to be on for a good result. And I think, well, it's not a similar case on the game, but if you can stay out of trouble, you'll run for a good result here tonight and, well, in the series so far here in the Cage World Series.
Well, we don't dish out the success ballast in this anyway. Not that success ballast is not a bad thing. It obviously levels the playing field out a bit further for everybody. But yeah, we're just getting ready now for All Comers Race 2. We've already discussed who's your money on, blah blah blah. I think we're just going to take this one as it comes. Actually, just wait for a second. I think Gary Webb's having a few quick computer problems, so we'll just hang on for a second. We'll just see what's happening here now. Yeah, we're just making a few changes here, guys. It'll be a small delay, but Yeah, obviously we said the Banger World Series is the real British touring cars. Would you disagree with that statement, Jordan, or would you fully agree?
What, as in the real life Banger World Series or the
the real life Banger World Series is the British touring cars.
Or
is it the other way
probably
around?
You probably get a little bit more contact or a little bit more action in the British touring cars sometimes, but no, in all seriousness, both obviously provide some great racing, some great moments, some very good controversy as well, which obviously for media people like me makes it easier to write about or speak about. But no, obviously the British touring cars aren't allowing fans at the moment, so hopefully that changes very soon. But in the meantime, I'll keep my eye very closely on the world of short oval racing, and got a few good meetings on this weekend. Stanley Lake in particular on Sunday looks very good with 50 cars booked in and it being fully booked. So yeah, should be good.
Oh, that's good. Plenty of racing on the full-size racing on this weekend as well. Some back racing in Ireland, the Tullaroan Oval. These cars actually more kind of a Mondeo meeting, 2 litre. It's the Tullaroan Challenge Cup, but they're back racing, which is the main thing. Just looking at our Facebook comments, it looks like the whole Eastern Western Bangers thing has been sewn up. So sorry guys, if you're not in, you can't win. But our Steph, who's on the comments, all about Stansted. So set up Stansted Bangers, Steph. You'll have lots of fun with that. Lacey Charlton says, "We will go Drew." Oh, we love Drew. Drew Wilson fan club. Ladies love Drew.
Wife swap champ 2020.
Oh, very good. Oh, I like the sound of that. We'll see how it goes. Marcel Kinno says, Marcel Kinno's taking the toilet break now as opposed to the break after the final. But he's waiting for Gary Webb, he says. We'll let Gary come in. I mean, he's been extremely good this evening. Actually, we're going back into the unreadable stage in the Gulf corner now, but we'll just let them watch on. But any predictions for this one? Will Matt Josie win this all-comers race? That is the question.
He keeps getting up there, but as much as I hate to say it, or that I love to say it, I really have to say I hate to say it, being as I'm on your show, there's some people out there after him. He's going to get stopped, but they might want to stop someone else. He might get through. Who knows? He's been up there early on, so if he can stick to the lead, he'll have it.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. We'll see how he goes. I mean, he seems to have all the luck, and then he seems to have no luck. But unlike most drivers, he seems to make excuses, like the old adage about a workman and his tools. It doesn't really apply to Matt because he just makes excuses the whole time. And that's why myself and Jordan got him the big book of racing driver excuses for Christmas. I think that's many pages in that book, Jordan. It's about 5,000 pages, wasn't it? The fully illustrated edition as well.
Yeah, and Matt's used so many that they're actually having to write a second book just for him. So, hopefully that comes out soon for Matt, maybe in time for Christmas.
Yeah. When that book is officially endorsed by both Jason Plato and Matt Neal, so you can do anything you want, and there'll be an either excuse book for you.
And probably every single other professional racing driver in whatever discipline of racing they're in, whether it's short circuit, oval racing, virtual racing, or even in the glamorous world of Formula One. Just think about how many times Lewis Hamilton or Sebastian Vettel blame the car and whatever have you. So it's all part of the fun and games.
Or they just blame their status in life. You know, they're obviously feeling that they're in a position when they're not really. So, but I think I think the only driver who doesn't have a copy of that book, the only professional driver, is Kimi Räikkönen. Because he doesn't really say much. He's like, but I think Matt Josie is. He's either going to be the hunter or the hunted in the next race, but will not be supporting him. Now, don't commentators curse him, Matt. Matt? Jordan, even if he's in the lead by 6 laps, don't say anything. Just basically at the end of the race, come back and say, Matt Josie did this or did that. And that's the safest way, so we don't commentators curse him. Because we actually do want to see him do well for a change.
Yes, we do want to see him do well, but by the sounds of it, the Hartley boys are going to have something to say about that as well. But here we go. Last race of the night, second all-comers. Should be just as lively as the first one we had.
So, back to the front of the grid it is for Craig Royal, who is next to Ben Nichols, who takes pole. Just behind Ben Nichols, we can see Gary Webb on the outside, and then Jackin Josie on the inside. So, he's got the front of the grid, but he's got the people after him. Can he do it to secure all comers 2? So, here we go, now getting ready for the green. Get ready for the big push. Totally Trash boys, Ben Aves and Drew Wilson standing behind each other. No doubt going to keep it pinned. So here we go, it's green on the raceway for all comers number 2.
Like the golden rule is, if in doubt, going flat out, and I think a few drivers use that motto going into turn number 1 there, but it is Weasel Jr. Craig Royal who takes up the running. No, it isn't. In fact, it is Jack and Junior who leads the way. I won't say anything yet. Yeah, you're right, but yeah. Ben Nichols now takes up the run, and I should know now just to keep my mouth shut and listen to you and Ed. Yeah, it's like bloke leading the way.
So,
shall we say?
Jackin Josie has got the inside line, gets a good punt there from behind from the Bartley boy. And Ben Nichols, a TSB driver, Needle there on the 188 machine. Jackin Josie on the inside. Second place, Gary Bailey passes the back markers. Could get a bit of trouble here from 183, who tries to spin him out. Oh, and that's T. Dave, I do believe, is reversed out in front of him. So, Jackin Jr., Matt Josie's got a free track. No, he's been put in the post. It's Craig Royal has took up the lead from him. Come on, Matt, you've got to do it. At least one win.
At least one win would be nice for the cage crew, and I think that was Stephen Challenger that put him in there. Matt was warm, so he should have seen him coming in the rearview mirror there. But yeah, Stephen has taken up the running in this one. Weasel Jr. back down in the second, but Matt is, well, I say Matt's third. He's now been knocked down.
I do believe that was quite a very hard following. We've just missed. Matt Josie was on the front of it. As we can see, they're still on the bend, struggling to get it on.
Yeah, they are all struggling to get round in this one. There's more carnage and shoes there. Shady Goff just getting caught up. Crispy's also in there, and so too is 183 as Jeffro Jr. comes past. Gandalf goes for a spin, but he tries to get back into it, and he gets jacked by Stewie.
In true Totally Trash fashion, being spun out by his teammate Drew Wilson.
Absolutely quality. No mates beyond the gates is, I think, the phrase that's commonly used in banger racing, both in real life and virtual. But great battle at the front as Dippy now takes up the running from Jeffro Jr., who drops down into third now.
So Craig Royal hitting a fence post, which allows running mate Dippy to increase that lead, with Jeffro at 5-8 behind him, and Kieran McIver in third. Weasel all the way down in fifth, but Gary Bailey behind him, who could be a tough challenger. He could come up through the running.
I think the top 5 or 6 cars are running in quite close proximity to each other as Weasel Jr. goes past, just in behind the 470 car in third position. And someone on opposite them on turn number 2 as John Bricknell tries, Weasel Jr. tries to spin out John Bricknell, which Dewey Davis is on opposite there as well, but on turn number 4.
Yeah, Stewie Davis trying to liven it up a bit there on the pit bend turn. Gandalf coming through, gives Bricknell a solid head on, and that's 182. He goes in for a head on with Stewie, but misses and hits a post. There we go. I think that Spike 470 has been stopped, which allows Weasel to come and take second place, who's coming in close on Jeffro.
It certainly is, meanwhile, right at the front. Jeffro Jr. is crispy. Pots in Drew Wilson on turn number 3. Matt Josie goes in on Simon Needle as well. Absolutely great shot there as Ben Aves goes in on Drew Wilson head on. What do you think of that, Brett? T on TT there.
It happens all the time. I just can't really stop it. If Drew set up, I'll always drive for him, no doubt about that.
That's great too. We're getting some tactics from Totally Trashed boys here tonight. Motorhead now takes up the run in this one as Jeffro Jr. drops down a couple of positions as
Nichols is a very hard following now. Bam, and Drew Wilson goes on the back wall as well, and that's Crispy as goes into the passenger doors. Needle on the head-on of John Bricknell as well, goes in as well as Shady Goff still meets him head-on. And loads more going in through the doors. Ben Nichols over the back wheel on the Bartley boy, who sits himself up a treat on the post.
Certainly does, and I think there is a Black Cross Woman in 4466 Ben Aves for pinning 29 car of Matt Josie as 811 Kieran McIver comes through to take another win and a win in all comers to here tonight. The final race of the night as John Bricknell puts himself in, aiming for his old mate Titty David Hansel, obviously to stand 8. Craig Elizabeth Jeffrey Jr. goes in with a solid shot. Absolutely great race there, and another close battle at the front of the field for it as well.
Yeah, another close finish. This track has obviously been proven those last bends have been a true event changer in these races. And I think that's Matt Josie comes down the middle on opposite and does Gandalf through the driver's door.
On the grass. Naughty. See, what did I tell you guys? What did I tell you? Say nothing about Matt and he'd win. And what did you do? You jinxed him. Thanks, guys. Much appreciated.
It's my fault, Ed. I'll take full responsibility for that one, and I think I might have to keep a keen eye on the going-ons of Mr. Matt Josie late in that race. There might be a bit of a stern talking to there, but over to you two to dissect it all.
Yeah, that was good. Another good all-comers. So instead, all the action coming thick and fast in that one. Bit of everything there, a bit of racing, bit of wrecking. A couple of nice trains there on each end of the track, which is good. So guys, having problems with the connections there, but a few bit of finger wagging going on in race control anyway. Stewart of the meeting, Marshall Keno's giving out a bit, but looks like it's justified punishment as usual. But we'll see what happens. No excuses for Matt, would you believe? That's doing okay. But DD time again. Kieran McIver seems to be good at winning these DDs. Have any early predictions for this one, Brett, or the old adage, last man standing?
I think anyone that uses the head in their DD, like, try and not rod, but just be careful on them first few laps. Let everyone take themselves out, and then start putting it about in the last few minutes of the DD.
Yeah, I think so. As long as there's no sandbagging in the DD, as one or two people are known for it, not basically waiting, going around, not really hitting anything. So that's not what we want. Once just full contact, use the front of the car, use the back of the car. There doesn't be enough reversing really in the DDs. But it looks like I feel like we've lost one or two. Unfortunately, guys are having connection issues. But thanks again for supporting us. But Jordan, any early predictions for this DD, or is Kieran McIver going to win?
Oh, I think Kieran McIver's actually won the most DDs in the Cage World Series so far, including the one at the team meeting at Ipswich a few weeks ago as well. So, yeah, I think he'll be another good bet, but it'll be interesting to see how they'll get in on Mondeos. Obviously, this is the first time in the series we've used Mondeos, so, I think we might have to ask our more Repfest expert, Brett, what he thinks for the DD here tonight.
It'll be very different. Obviously, we've seen a lot of people, near enough more than half the field, trying to get them finishes tonight. I'd like to see it being a crash fest from the go, but I reckon there'll be like a good 5-10 laps before people really start putting the bumper in and going all out havoc. On a winning side of it, it's anyone's race. Oh, I shouldn't say that. It's anyone's DD. You can't really pick a winner for this.
No, you certainly can't. But I think going by previous conditions, performances as well, guys that go for in this DD, Bam, Dave Spooner, Stephen Chandler 183, Spike as well, Gary Baker 470, Cy Needle as well. And we haven't seen Cy Needle or Craig Royal doing a DD before. They're quite good at the full size DDs, so we'll see if that natural skill transfers over to the virtual world. I think Ben Nichols as well he's not really afraid of going head on either, so we'll see who he gets on. But as long as there's no lunging, there's no giving out, there's no guff corner time, we're getting ready for this DD, guys.
I think Simon Needle, as you mentioned, it'd be very good. I was racing with him. I get on with Simon really well. Good family friend, offline and online. I was racing with him a few weeks ago, and I think it was like Heat 3, and he got a really good start. He was leading it half a lap ahead and then stopped it in the straight. And I said, like, Simon, what are you doing that for? He went, oh, I don't want to be rolling. I'd rather be crashing. I thought I'd let you catch up. So I think that says a lot about that man.
I think it does, but DD, proper survival of the fittest, last man standing. Just waiting on one or two more guys to come through the pit gate, and then we'll be ready to go. And Steph says, won't say what I think of rodding. Well, Steph takes photographs of hot rods as well, so you can't all be dismissive of it, Steph. They go around the track, don't they? I'm sure we'll get a bit of feedback on that one from our Steph. But yeah, we're just getting ready to go for this one now. Any last second predictions, Brett, or just what we said?
Anyone's win, I think. I'd like to see someone that hasn't really won a lot win it, but we shall see after them first few laps.
Yeah, I think so too, but looks like I'm ready for this DD. Take it away, Jordan.
Thank you, Ed. Here we go for the last time tonight. It's Destruction Derby time. We've seen some great DDs in the Cage World Series so far. So it'll be interesting to see how this one gets on. Like we said, the first one with all Monderos out there. And as you said, Brett, it's anyone's really. So, yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how the guys go about this in a kind of a tactical way.
Yeah, so not as much as it matters, but the grid here, we've got Drew Wilson sitting on the outside with Danny Potts on pole. Behind him is Shady Goff, Simon Needle, Bam 99, and that's Gary Webb. So Shady a bit keen for the green. And here we go, green flags for the 2 litre banger DD here at Belle Vue Stadium.
It's been a great night in Manchester, and unlike the real life Manchester, we haven't had any rain, which is always a plus, as Craig Wall puts himself in there as he was going for a big hit on John Bicknell. So we can do the rodding very well. Not so much the crashing side of things, but that might change here as well. Maybe he puts himself in again there on turn number 3.
So Drew Wilson, not sure he got the memo as he's rodding round, taking the lead, and Ben Aves has come out on the pit turn. Don't think he meant to hit Dippy there with a massive follower as John Bricknell takes in, I think was Crispy, and Simon Needle takes the whole pack head on, stopping Motorhead, gets another shot from Weasel over the back wheel. Drew Wilson in there
as well. Yeah. Simon Needle again getting hit there by Matt Challenger.
Oh, what a following.
Nick goes in. Dewey also goes in as well. It's some hard hits in the early stages of this DD, Brett.
Yes, loads of shots going in as we see it. Motorhead being spun out into the post. Gary Webb picks up John Bricknell straight into the post. What a shot. Textbook following there.
It's Stewie Davis and T. Davis on turn 3 and 4. But Stewie going for a hit on Drew Wilson. One of the Bartley boys going in there as John Bricknell gets flooded in by Gary Baker. Gets hit from pillar to post down there.
Bit of infield antics there as Drew Wilson hits Titty Dave on the green.
Indeed, Crispy going in on Jeffro Jr. there. Gandalf going in on Josie. Stewie also goes in. One of the Bartley boys is involved there as well, with a huge packet of cars coming down the home straight.
There we go. It's a free cast going, a massive shot. Oh, Bricknell goes straight into the post as Stewie Davis gets loads of airtime off that. All 4 wheels off of the floor, and they're all going down there onto the entrance of turn 3.
I think that was courtesy of not only the big pack, but more so 3 to 8 Ben Nichols there with great shot by others. Gary Webb hits night, so he's retired. He's obviously picked up too much damage. As John Bricknell again gets followed, and I think that was by Dippy that time. Or maybe it was Shady Cup now. I think it was Shady, sorry.
So Packs driving round, getting their laps in. We've now come to a bit of a roddy stage in the DD, but Gandalf goes in through the doors and gets a massive one there from one of the levelers. Drew drives through on the inside.
Ben Aves, you see they're coming down the back straight on opposite who's he looking for. So all the camera pans around them, and you can see Dippy following in Jeffro Jr. Now I've stood at the meeting waving the blue flag to try and get the guys to turn it around and maybe actually start hitting each other, doing more so, as we've already nearly completed 10 laps this one.
So as we see, Gaza is 622 is out of the running. Bam is taking on Matt Joseph in the middle. Titty Dave goes in through the door of Weasel. So this is not allowed. People should get off the middle, start hitting on the track. Titty Dave comes in the middle and hits Stewie a massive head on. One of the Bartley boys on Spike.
Yeah, it's all kicking off there on the middle, as you say, but we don't really like to see that. Keep it on the track as Titty Dave again goes in, Gary Bates goes in. Oh, Crispy goes in on one of the Bartley boys as well. This is what we like to see. More wrecking than Bodin and DD's. He met Josie there as well. Oh, he gets hit by
A little follow now to the infield tyres as Weasel takes in a Bam in the 99 machine. Ben Nichols looking to turn it around down the back straight. As there goes Gandalf coming down the home straight. Jeffro picked up Stewie in 622. Oh, coming out of the bend, captures the post. And another one as Matt Josie gets picked up and followed in by Crispy.
I think this is going to be a bit of a marathon, this one. It's quite a long DD.
Oh.
Josie follows in someone on turn 3 and 4. Crispy's also involved as Gandalf goes head on into Josie as Wilson then subsequently jacks him up. See another push going into turn number 1 there. Bike picks up Shady.
Oh, the big back heel shot. So some more casualties now. It's Bricknell in the number 2. Ben Nichols 328 and Titty Dave are now out of the running. So 188 catching the back wheel of Danny Potts. He's now being followed by Totally Trash, and that's Drew Wilson, who takes his own life as he goes in on Bam.
Great crashing going in there. Stewie Davis going in. I think the Bartley boys were also running on turn number 1 there. Great wrecking trainers. Ben Nichols has retired as well. Been on 540 again tonight. Getting down into the final 12 for this one.
Oh, a very heavy door shot there from Danny Potts, who goes in on Matt Josie. Motorhead goes in on Josie as well, then gets a solid shot from Jeffrey Owen Hunt. Oh, and a big one there, Shady Goff going in on Weasel, which stops his machine. He's now out as well as we come down to the last 10 cars of this DD.
We're slowly ticking down now to the final few. Which one of these drivers will be our last car running here at Belle Vue?
So
Stewie follows in one of the Barty boys now. I think that was Stephen Challenger.
So it's 2 of the points leaders now. Spike 470 and Motorhead 811 still going very strong. And that's, I do believe, Weasel knows Danny Potts, who goes in the back of one of the Bartley boys.
He gets jacked by one of the Bartley boys as someone else goes in. I didn't quite catch the number on that one.
And Matt Josie getting the laps in, driving round, being followed by Motorhead 811, who looks like he's gone in. He's dodged the shot. Bam's gone in for the head on. Matt Josie's missed. He's got a massive head on from Dippy. He's still going. He got reversed into us. Dippy's gone. Dippy's dead. And Shady with another massive head on. Jeffro taking in Bam.
I think he wanted from the DD, just a solid shot on Jack and Junior there.
I think that might have to be a black cross there for Matt Josie for. Oh, he's gone. No need for that then. So, once again, Matt Josie doesn't stay for the end of the DD.
Yeah, yet again, he's probably got to go in for dinner, Brett. Dinner or maybe a drink. Maybe it's too hot like it was on Sunday at Bingwood Cheetahs. But anyway, hopefully he stays to the end on Sunday for the DD at Stanlake. But Motorhead turning it around there. Oh, he just goes in on Shady and then he collects one of the Bartley boys as well, and I think that sees the Bartley boys out. And Dave Spooner's getting a blue flag, but he gets hit by Jeffro Jr. there.
So Motorhead 811, Kieran McIver turn it around, giving it through the doors to Owen Hunt, who's being followed by 99. That's Shady Goff, Stewie 622 coming down the home straight. Matt 188 of the Bartley boys. Bam 98. Motorhead comes out off the infield. Not going for Bam. Who is he going for? He's looking for someone. Oh, Bam has massive head on just under race control. That's killing Shady Goff. Shady Goff's out of the running. We're now down to the last 4 cars. And all 4 meet on that bend. Everyone reverses out though. Looking good.
And we're down to Motorhead in 811, Stewie Davis in 622, Bam, Dave Spooner 99, and Jeffro Jr. Owen Hunt in 528, who I think has just conked out. And oh no, he's got back going again.
That Stewie Davis is now out of the running. He's now his car is now dead. Bam, looking to be going very strong as he comes down the back straight. Jeffro and Kieran McIver are going to meet him head on, and I think the cameraman's had a stroke. It's all good. So Kieran McIver hitting it in reverse. Reverses into Owen Hunt as them to push and shove on that bend. Bam, coming down the back straight, going the right way.
Is he going to look for all 3 cars, I think, going the right way? Now Bam just coming to a halt at the end of the home straight. As all Jeffro goes in at Motorhead.
Oh, and a very solid head on. Motorhead still backs out of it. He's going very strong. Bam, still got the speed. He comes down on opposite, down the back straight. Motorhead 811 follows him. Jeffro goes in for the attack. So Stewie's had fun tonight. He's put on a good show.
Yes, Stewie, a great consistent driver in the Cage World Series. He'll be one to keep an eye on. And then the World Final as Motorhead goes head on into Bam, and that kills Bam's car as well. So it's down to Jeffro Jr. and Motorhead.
And here we go for head on. And the both still going. We're down to the last 2 cars of Kieran McIver and Jeffro Owen Hunt. So both pushing and shoving there, getting it in reverse. Are we going to see? Are we going to see one big head on?
This one. Neither car has much left now, so it'll be interesting to see how they go about it as well. Jeffro Jr., I think, is going for the almighty jack up, but just put himself in there as Kieran steered out of it.
So here we go, going for a lap on opposite. Jeffro Owen Hunt turns around as well. Are they going to meet on that bend? It's an almighty head on, and they're still going. Both cars are still mobile. And they're going again.
I don't know how these cars are still going.
And there we go. Motorhead takes the win from Owen Hunt with a brilliant show in that DD. He's had 2 heats tonight, and he's took home a few wins, and then goes to win the DD. What a brilliant night for Kieran McIver.
Indeed, an excellent night for him.
A great night and a great DD.
Yeah, and for a change, one of our predictions came true. We said he's pretty handy at the DDs as well. Just a good all-rounder, really. Good at what he does. But yeah, it was a bit of a slow burner at DD. It was very roundy. There was actually more laps being done in the final than in the final at one stage. But I think eventually the furious waving of blue flags from race control told people to get in. Yeah, Kieran coming on a nice quick ending cut there. Love DDs. He's pretty good at it. Most drivers happy enough. Thanks again for everyone supporting us. And yeah, any closing thoughts on that one, guys? Jordan?
Yeah, it's another really good night. Obviously the last actual round before the World Final, so a few drivers wanting to get the points on the board, I think, and just trying to maybe secure a spot for the World Final in a few weeks' time. But Kieran McCarthy, yet again, was absolutely superb. But a really, really strong debut by 478 Craig Royal Weasel Jr., obviously a very good driver in real life as well. And yeah, I thought he was going to be the man to beat after the first 2 races, but Gabby Webb putting a Storming driver in the final to claim victory and take his second final of the series so far. So yeah, who knows? Maybe he could be a surprise winner in the World Final at our next meeting. But yeah, a really, really good night, really enjoyable. And yeah, thanks to everyone for their time and commitment and for tuning in yet again.
Yeah, no, thanks again. I mean, that's the best way you can put it, really. We'll get Brett's view in a second, but he's dragged himself up from race control. And he looks either very cross or very happy. James Kane, what do you think of that?
No, I'm very happy, Ed. I thought it was a really good meeting overall. I know Mondays are a bit like Marmite for some of the Wreckfest banger drivers. Some love them, some hate them, but what they do is give a lot of very even cars. And on a track like Belle Vue, which is tight, post and wire, shale, tyres that can trip you up, you're always going to get some action. I think it just went again to show that some of our more consistent drivers are some of the best drivers, because again they pulled out the stops and got the win. On the whole, the racing was good. There was a few little bits of naughtiness, but nothing too bad. And I thought it was a really good meeting. Also, especially to you 3 guys in the box, it was really good. I mean, Ed, you're such a fantastic host anyway, and we all know from previous races how good Jordan is, but it was a really good dynamic with Brett as well, who came in because originally Ed wasn't going to be able to make it. It's a pretty last minute thing, and to get and Brett agreed to come and do it, and it was a really good dynamic and good to get a fresh view, especially from one of our friendly rivalry pages to come in and join us as well. So massive thanks to Brett, massive thanks to everyone watching, massive thanks to the drivers.
Yeah, no, all good. Thanks to the drivers, thanks to you, James, for basically forfeiting your spot to keep it all smoothly running in the background. So any final thoughts then? Well, I think if we were given driver of the evening, it would be nearly 33 between Kieran McIver, Craig Royal and Cy Niddle. I mean, the 2 red cars were making their debuts tonight. Very impressive. Like it's rare to get a dream debut, but them guys came very close to it. What do you think?
Yeah, both drivers on different playing fields of the crashing and rodding. Craig, brilliant driver in real life, brilliant driver on the game. He definitely showed what he could do. Simon, well, it was Simon Needle. Do you know what I mean? There was the car sat there. There was a car in front of him. He went for it. If there wasn't, he stuck it in reverse, and he was reversing into parked cars. So, 2 drivers that I think, for their first time on this, definitely proved themselves.
Yeah, I think so. Any closing comments on that one then, Jordan?
No, not really. I think obviously just echoed what everyone else has said. Really good meeting. As James said, a few slightly naughty moves, but it was all in good humour, all in good faith. All the drivers had a good time, and to me, that's all that really matters.
Well, yeah, that's it. That's the main thing. And finally, during the meeting, James Kane, anything more to say about this? Are you still quite satisfied?
No, I'm very satisfied. So in the drivers' chat now, most of the drivers coming back saying what a good meeting it was. They really enjoyed it as well, which is the main thing. I said, I know I moaned earlier about that, but I think it was probably about as clean as you're going to get a Wreckfest meeting. So I'm happy, Ed. I'm very happy. I'm with how today went. I'm looking forward to the World Final. I don't know if I'm going to race or if I'm going to be back at the camera and steward. That's all to work out. Obviously, I do actually enjoy being on the camera as well, but we'll see how it works out. But yeah, so our next.
Are we still live?
Yes, we are still live. Thank you.
Well, World Finals like to be one. I should be back racing. I'll even have to book a night off work for it.
Yeah, so it's likely. So we're still looking at the dates now and what the qualifying procedure would be. It's likely to be when we look at the points charts. We'll definitely see first 12 drivers in, and then try and work it out then based on attendance and what people have done elsewhere and stuff. So yeah, it should be a good night. I'm even thinking about maybe running a pre-meeting with last chance qualifiers for maybe the last 4 spots. All still to work out, but it'll be at Arena Essex Raceway probably in about 3 weeks' time. We've all got to look at our calendars.
I best start I better start making a nice skin for it then.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for that one I'll even make a pace car skin for my camera car.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Ed, overall, absolutely fantastic. Thank you. I had a great night, and again, thanks to you three in the box. As always, very entertaining. So, I know my camera work, again, sometimes it can be a bit shaky and difficult, but that's just the nature of how it is. But the commentary is excellent, really good from all three of you.
Thank you.
Well, that's good. Well, he's dragged his way up into the review box after being bashed, battered, bruised. Matt Josie, did you enjoy yourself tonight? Did you have fun?
Do you know what, Ed? I had loads of fun tonight. I was laughing, especially during All Comers 2. I knew I had everyone after me. Obviously, first few laps I was leading, and you know what? I knew I wasn't going to win. I knew it was going to happen, and of course, obviously, Mr. 183 followed me in, and then of course, little war of Ben Aves on the infield. But I was laughing through that. I got out and put my fists in the air, so it was good.
Okay, so we've no excuses this time. You actually did enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I did. I was laughing. It was funny because there was a few races I thought I just wasn't fast enough, but I went more for the crash than anything really.
So how did it feel in that All Comers 2 with the might of the commentators' chorus all the way behind you?
I knew. Do you know what? I was sat listening and I thought, this is, I'm going to have it in for me in this race. So I knew it was going to happen. It's your fault, Ed, because you mention it every meeting. You say that you're paying drivers 50p to just follow me in or jack me up or go after me in general. And obviously...
Go on, sorry, go on.
And I just know I'm not going to win anymore because of you. So thanks, Ed.
No problem. Well, I mean, the big book of racing driver excuses that myself and Jordan got you for Christmas there, that's coming in handy again.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to the second edition of that.
Yeah, I think so. With I think the preface to that book's been written by Kimi Räikkönen. Or is it Jack Overy? I don't know.
It'll be good, though.
It will be, indeed. You've any final thoughts, guys, or shall we wrap this one up?
I think we should wrap it up with a nice Doom bar.
Yeah, I think so too. But it only needs to say thank you very much indeed to Jordan Hollins, James Keane, and Matt Josie there, and my fellow
thank you
of the Cage crew. You're very welcome, Matt. As long as you had fun, that's what's important.
That's the thing. Everyone going racing this weekend, as long as you have fun, that's the main thing. That's what Bangers is about.
That's it. And don't forget to check out the newly formed sister sites, Eastern Bangers, Western Bangers, and North by Northwestern Bangers, which may be my own. But thanks again too to our sponsors for the evening, Cecil's Rent-A-Rookie and UK Action Cars, Steve, the man himself, Cecil Anscombe. He'll give you everything you need to go racing, except the attitude and maybe the nerves too. But
and you might have fun.
You might have fun indeed. Well, thanks for everyone for having fun. Having fun is what it's all about. Lots of fun. Yeah, I think we had enough fun for this evening. Allows me to say I've been Ed Fahey. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you very soon for the Caged Virtual Series World Final. Enjoy your full-size racing this weekend, wherever you're going. Thank you very much.